Today we're going to talk about the 5 ways, I believe, my opinion, 5 ways you can support an anxious partner without burning out, without, losing it yourself and kind of going down the same road they're on. You love your partner, your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your significant other, okay? You see the incredible person they are underneath. The constant worry and the what ifs is what is driving them, maybe a little crazy, and you too. But if you're being honest with yourself, you're exhausted, right? And dealing with that person every day and all their different mental struggles, it can take a toll on you. You find yourself constantly reassuring them, tiptoeing around trigger points, things that make them sad or upset, and that little voice in your head that whispers, I can't do this anymore. It's getting louder. And right on the heels, of course, there's guilt. I should be supportive. I should be there. You feel guilty for being so drained. You feel guilty for doing the upsetness in your voice, right? For the resentment that's slowly building, a wall between you two. I deal with this right now. My wife is a saint, but she deals with me every day. And some days I know it's exhausting. Some days she just wants to scream and throw things, and I get it. I would probably too. But what if I told you you can support that person, the person you love, without sacrificing yourself in the process? What if there was a way not to just survive this, but to build a relationship that's more resilient and more connected than ever? Today I'm going to break down 5 real practical strategies that I've been kind of working through that will help you do just that. Let's be crystal clear. I'm not saying this is going to fix your anxious partner. It's not going to fix you. It's not going to fix that. It's going to make things better. This is about changing the dance you're both doing. It's about learning how to show up for them. It's a way that actually might be able to help while fiercely protecting yourself and your sanity. Because the truth is, you can't pour from an empty cup. I mean, I hear that all the time, and some days I don't understand it, but lately I'm understanding it more. And your relationship deserves for you both to be healthy. Strategy number 1, be a validator, not a fixer, okay? You can say, hey, I understand, hey, I get it, hey, this, but you can't fix their mental health. When the person we love is in pain, our first instinct is to fix it, right? I mean, that's what I do. It's not always a good thing. It's a good instinct, but when your partner is spiraling, convinced they're going to get fired over a teeny mistake, your brain jumps straight into problem solving. At least that's what mine's always done. You say things like, don't worry, that's crazy, your boss loves you, or there's nothing to be scared of, it'll be fine. You're bringing logic to an emotional fight. And you'll probably noticed it never works, right? It never works because logic and emotions don't always work together. It can backfire. Your logical solution can sound like you're dismissing their feelings. Okay, phrases like "just relax" feel incredibly invalidating, making your partner feel misunderstood and pushing them further away from you and from the situation as on the logical side. The pressure to find the magical words that will fix their anxiety is exhausting. You feel the failure every time your perfectly rational thinking doesn't calm their irrational fears. That cycle, try to fix, fail, get frustrated, is a fast track to burnout. Here's something you could try. The solution, I guess. Move from trying to fix the feeling to simply validating it. Validation doesn't mean you agree with their worst case scenario. It means you're acknowledging that the feeling they have is real, 100%. It sends the most powerful message you can in a relationship. I see you, I hear you, and I'm with you through this. Anxiety is not logical. I promise you, I'm going through a lot of it. Not logical. Trying to debate it is like arguing with a smoke detector, right? That's blaring. The alarm believes there's a fire. It could be a chicken on your stovetop that you've left on there for an hour and you've filled up the whole house with smoke. But the smoke detector believes there's a fire. Yelling at the alarm won't shut it off. Okay? Your job is to acknowledge the alarm is ringing and to help them feel safe despite it. Okay? Despite the noise. So what does that actually mean? Instead of don't be silly, you're not going to get fired. Wow, that sounds incredibly stressful. Try that. Try. I can hear how worried you are about this. Tell me, what's going on? What are you feeling? What do you see through your head? What do you see? Or instead of saying there's no reason to be anxious about the party, try, I get that you're feeling really anxious about the party. It makes sense. What's the biggest thing you're worried about? See the difference? The first response starts a debate. The second one starts a connection. You're no longer responsible for solving the anxiety. You're just being supportive and a present partner. You're sitting with them in the storm, which is infinitely more comforting than trying to logic them out of it. And for you, it's way less draining. You don't need to answer their stress. You don't need to fix it. You just need to listen. Number 2, set gentle, predictable boundaries. Do you ever feel like you're walking on eggshells? Like your entire life, your plans, your mood, your conversation revolves around your partner's triggers, your partner's stress, your partner's day. It's incredibly common and suffocating in most relationships. But that comes when you have blurry or non-existent boundaries between each other. Over time, that self-editing and accommodating builds a deep, quiet resentment that can poison even the strongest love. My wife and I have been married for over 30 years. We still have those, and we work through them, but it takes time even now. Okay, so you can't just keep doing it and expect nothing to change. This isn't just bad for you, the person, without it. It can also enable the anxiety getting it worse by creating a world where your partner never has developed their own coping skills. They always depend on you, and that doesn't always work. But you don't just set the boundary because you're scared. It will feel like rejection at first. Okay, there's boundaries, feels rejection, making their anxiety even worse. So now you say, what do I do then? It's going to keep growing. So let's reframe it. Let's reword it, right? Boundaries aren't walls, okay? They are guardrails you install to keep the relationship from driving off a cliff, okay? If you've ever been in the mountains, you know that there's guardrails there to make sure that you don't go and pull a Thelma and Louise, okay? It's what they do. They're not punishments. They're acts of self-preservation. You're trying to keep yourself safe and them safe by building those guardrails up just to protect each other and to keep everything okay. And for someone with an anxiety who lives in a world of uncertainty, clear and predictable boundaries, guardrails can actually be calming. They create safety. They know what to expect from the person they love. This means you have to communicate your needs clearly and calmly. Use I statements that express your feelings without assigning blame. So let's make it real. The reassurance boundary. They repeatedly ask, are you mad at me? Do you still love me? And it's draining. I ask my wife that sometimes, and I know it drains her. Instead of getting frustrated, in a calm moment say, I love you so much. I want you to feel secure with me. When I ask repeatedly if I'm upset, when you ask me that, I start feeling overwhelmed, and it actually makes it harder for me to connect with you. Okay? Can we come up with a different plan when you feel this way, when you have that insecurity? The time and energy boundary. Their anxiety constantly derails your plans and you stop feeling. Okay. This is another boundary, right? The time and energy. Their anxiety, my anxiety, I know this, I'm just speaking again from me, derails all the plans because all of a sudden something that they had planned or they were going to do doesn't happen. You feel stopped. You stop from seeing friends. You stop seeing other people outside the home because you feel guilty, right? You don't want to leave the person who's having whatever fear and trepidation. Instead of slightly fuming, say, I know you're not up for going out. I really need to connect with people. I need to go out with my friends. So I'm still going to go ahead and head out for a couple hours. I love you, and I'll come home by a certain time, or I'll be home, or I'll check in, I'll text you later. If someone like me or anyone else wants to have also those late night conversations, set a timeline. I'm really bad at this. I have conversations that are deep way too early in the day. I'm late at the day. I sometimes, end of the night, all of a sudden I want to have a huge conversation about something and it's too late for that. Yet I'm still trying to do it. So instead of getting stuck awake at 2 a.m., say, I can see that this is really heavy. I know this is on your mind. I can't give it my full attention. It's too late. My brain is shutting down for the night. Because I can't give you the full support you deserve, let's put a pin in it, schedule a time for a check-in, okay? For tomorrow after work, for tomorrow night, for tomorrow sometime. If it's a weekend, hey, let's go do breakfast and we'll talk. Something like that. Schedule a time to go over that anxiety, that stress that's going on. And this kind of goes, this step 3, strategy 3, is part of it's self-care also. It's non-negotiable stuff, right? Going out with your friends, even if that person has anxiety or doesn't want to go or doesn't like them or doesn't like to go out. That's self-care. Taking care of yourself, doing things for you. Because the problem is people with anxiety, people with stress, depression, they get nervous when their loved one goes out without them because they feel like they're missing out. There's that fear of missing out. But they also don't want to go out. So they want that person to stay close to them, stay around them, because if they go out, they're going to find someone better and all that negative thinking, right? Well, you need to take care of you. If you, again, are empty, you can't help that other person. So take care of yourself, okay? If that means having a conversation later, if that means going out with friends even though your partner doesn't want to actually go out, if that means going on a weekend away with your sister or with other people and because your partner just doesn't want to, because they can't, do it. Take care of yourself. That's what the time and management part is. You got to have time and management for yourself. Okay. And that's a big one. If you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else. It's like the airplane. Put your mask on before you help somebody else. Same idea. Strategy 4. Co-regulate with grounding techniques. When your partner gets caught up in anxiety spiral, it's like their brain is on a runaway train, okay? It's on the crazy train. And logical words of reassurance are just bouncing off the side, okay? Their heart is pounding, their thoughts are racing, they're completely lost in a future catastrophe that probably will never happen. They literally can't think their way out of it because their body's in a psychological state of fight or flight. So instead of engaging them, okay, instead of debating them or trying to get their racing mind to calm down, your goal is to help them get back into their own body, into their own present moment. This is a technique called grounding. When you do it with them, it's called co-regulation. Big word. I looked up in one of my wife's books, found it. It's kind of great. It's a powerful way to get on the same team through a storm. Okay, so going to a storm, it's better if there's more people with you. You guys can all protect each other, right? Remember the smoke detector analogy. Their nervous system is screaming fire, fire, fire. Your job is to sit with them, hold their hand, and help their body realize it's actually safe. And it can turn off their alarm. Here are 2 simple but powerful grounding techniques. The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I've learned this in the last couple of weeks. It's kind of like a game, I guess. This pulls their brain out of the future and anchors it in the present or the here and now. Say calmly, hey, I can see you're spiraling. Let's get grounded for a second. Can you do this with me? You don't have to use these specific words. Do whatever works for you. Let's find 5 things you can see in this room. Then, of course, you find 5 things you can see in the room. Okay, now let's find 4 things you can physically feel. The couch, the dog, the floor, okay? Just things like that. Now, 3 things you can hear. I hear the TV, cars going by, the refrigerator. 2 things you can smell, okay? I smell the wet dog, or I smell the rain, or I smell the cleaner that you used. And finally, 1 thing you can taste. I taste gum in my mouth, or I taste chocolate, or whatever you need to do. That's a good one. It doesn't always work with me, but it's a good one. Another one's called boxed breathing. You basically, you 4x4, so you breathe in for 4 seconds. You hold it for 4 seconds. You breathe out for 4 seconds. You hold it for 4 seconds. And then you repeat it. And it just slowly gets you kind of calm. Now, these don't always work. These aren't always the best. But it's another technique, okay? Reassuring them that while they're doing this, hey, I'm here. I'm with you. Let's do this. Sometimes I feel silly when I'm doing these things. I don't feel like, I feel less manly, I guess. But having that support does help. And then the last strategy, last point, last step, is frame it as a team. And call in reinforcements if you need it, okay? Maybe you feel that the heaviest burden is you. And you alone are responsible for managing everything in this person's life. Your job is to cure them. Your job is to fix them. Let's be clear, okay? That's impossible. You are not, you are not a person who is going to create a miracle and cure this person of all their anxiety, all their stress and depression. You can't do it alone, okay? You are their partner. You're not their therapist. My wife is a therapist. She's not my therapist. Taking on that role is not only a path to complete total burnout and crashing, but it also robs your partner of a chance to build their own resilience, okay? The pressure is immense, and it can leave you feeling trapped, okay? You don't want to feel trapped. This last strategy is a total mind shift, though. This isn't your problem solved for them. Okay, listen, not your problem to fix. You can't solve it. The anxiety is the third thing in the relationship, an opponent, and you're a team that's going to face it together. And every good team knows you have to have a good coach. So, me and my wife, the anxiety is the third person, the third wheel, the uninvited guest, okay? Sometimes you need a coach, a good coach. That could be a therapist, a psychiatrist, all of the above. You could have 4 or 5 coaches to help you out. I sometimes have more. I have more than one. Encouraging your partner to get help in a positive way. Don't say, hey, you're crazy, you need to go get help. No. Do it in a loving, supportive way. Hey, I see that you're struggling. I can't help you the way that you need. I know other people who can. Can we talk to them? Or can I help you find someone? Or is there someone that you want to talk to? Pick a moment that's calm. Do it when they're not hyper raw, okay? Don't do it when their nerves are all crazy. Find a time when you're both connected, safe, good place. Use a lot of the we, us, family language, okay? Group language. And just say, therapists have tools that I don't have. Therapists can do things that I and we can't do together. Again, using the we. See, I just automatically do I. Therapists and psychiatrists, they have tools, they have resources we can't get. Okay? The we thing. Couples therapy isn't bad. That's also a good thing to do. But with someone with anxiety, maybe start with regular therapy, then go towards more the couples therapy. And that's a positive thing. Getting a therapist or someone like that on board is a good thing. It's a positive thing. It can benefit you both, between them getting therapy, you getting maybe a therapist to help you deal with it, and then of course couples therapy down the line that can also help you. So what's the conclusion? What's the big thing here? Being a partner of someone like me or someone with anxiety, it's a journey, it's a battle, it's a show. And it's not just a simple cliche, right? It requires incredible patience, deep, deep love, and strength you probably didn't know you had until you dealt with it. But that strength cannot come at the cost of your own sanity. By shifting your approach from fixing to validating, by setting loving boundaries, by guarding your own energy, by grounding together, by tackling this as a team, you can change the whole dynamic. You go from being a burnt out, resentful caretaker to being a true partner again. This isn't a magic wand. There will be a good day, there will be a bad day, and there'll be middle days in between, okay? There will be days where just nothing works, and some days everything is perfect and great. But by using these strategies, you're not just helping your partner, you're helping yourself. You're building a relationship that is resilient, connected, and strong enough to get through all of it. So many people are going to go through this, and you are definitely not alone. I would love to hear from comments from people who have dealt with this, which, if any of these strategies worked, or if you've used these before, if you have other strategies that might work, that please put them in the comments. It could help one person. That's all it needs. I mean, that's really why I do this, is not just for me, but if anyone else is going through it, maybe that helps them. Share your story. If you found this video helpful, like it, use it, watch it again, comment on it, subscribe if you really want to, and understand that your partner who's going through this doesn't like it. Most of them don't. I know there's people out there who thrive off of being the anxious, depressed person, but most of us don't. We hate it. We feel like we're a burden. We feel like we're destroying our partner's life, and it's hard. But with these steps and others, these strategies, I feel like partners, my wife, others, they can help grow their strong points, and they can learn their weak points, and as a couple you can grow stronger together and get through it. Anxiety is not a 1-day thing. It's not a 2-day thing. It's a process, and no matter how many magic pills you take or magic sessions you go to, it's not something that can just be fixed. So thank you all for watching, and we will see you again.